All right, hey, it's been a while. Uh, why? Well, I don't know. It gets kind of embarrassing drinking whiskey in front of you guys when it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So I try not to drink in front of you on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But it's Thursday, and I'm out here. It's really warm, as most of you are probably here in the valley as well. And but it's gorgeous, though, right? Look at that. That's just beautiful. Anyway, so I'm here, and we are about this bottle. It's called the Balvenie. I know most people will call it Balvenie, but the Balvenie. And these guys are one of my favorite distilleries. They're in Speyside, and that is really known for the sherry bombs, right? The very sherry stuff. They're right next to Glenlivet. And I didn't get a chance to go there when I was in Scotland just about 3 years ago. I really wanted to, but it was a very short and quick trip. Nonetheless, I've seen this bottle and didn't really look into it and didn't give it a whole lot of thought because, as I said, Balvenie is known for sherry. It's not known so much for its peat. But I was reading up on this, and it's not the founder, but the guy there, his name is, his last name's Stewart, David Stewart. He's been there forever. And I guess they spend a week cleaning up the distillery when it's there isn't as much water coming through and whatnot. And he decided to make that week also a week for experimentation. So they made it a week of peat, right? We've talked about peat. Not Pete Brady, but of course the moss, the organic material that was traditionally used to heat homes. And to, of course, make whiskey the old-fashioned way, which was just really 30, 40, 50 years ago. It was all done with peat. So, great distillery, trying something, experimenting a little bit with something that's not typically what they do. It's a different type of peat. The peat is different, made up of different matter. A lot of them from Isla or whatever the heck you call it over there, has more seaweed in it. This is inland, and so I've got this thing. We're going to taste it real quickly. So pardon me, I'm holding up the iPad. So let's see if we can do that for a moment. All right, and we'll give ourselves a nice little pour. All right, it's not even a finger. All right, well maybe it depends how you're holding it. There we are. Maybe it's a finger. It's definitely a pinky. How's that? And this is 48.3% alcohol by volume. So that's a lot. Oh, and it is non-chilled filtered. We're going to talk about that on another Whiskey with Stu. We haven't talked about non-chilled filtered, but not this time. This is just a quick little tasting. And I decided to have this as quiet. Everybody's out. The yard looks beautiful. I am smoking a couple chickens. Whoa, look at that. Yum. Woo-wee. Right? Got the smoker going on. I'm just kind of hanging out. Got some veggies in the oven. Everybody's out of the house. Nobody tell them that Dad's drinking. So let's give that a nice smell. If golden alcohol had a smell, it would smell like this. So there are actually you don't smell the smoke, which is interesting, unless you're smelling that back there. I smell, like toffees and vanillas and kind of a real fruity experience, which is the underlying whiskey, right? I don't use the word too often, but it's delightful. It's an easy drink. Definitely has the peat to it. There's a fair amount of peat in here, actually, but they are, it's not a contest. So you can easily come up with a very, very peaty scotch. And a lot of guys do it, and they just sell that smoke, that peat flavoring. But this is subtleties, and it's aged about 14 years. I think this bottle was about $99. Remember, It's a lot of money, but it's also not. When you go to a bar and you have 3 drinks, which may be a lot, but if you have 3 drinks, you're already into, a fair amount of money. So this bottle will last. I mean, I've had a little bit with somebody else. So, but this bottle can last easily several months. So, especially when we go pinky by pinky. But anyway, so Peet Week, the Balvenie, and this one gets the Stewart stamp of approval. Bang! So, looks like I only have one live watcher right now, but this will be in reruns, of course. Hello, Raymond. Ray. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday. Happy Father's Day. Special shout out to my father, whose birthday is tomorrow. So, to you, Dad. And have a great end of the week. Bye-bye. Howdy, howdy. It's a little chilly out here. End of the day. Done a couple presentations. Came outside, put on a nice heavy jacket. Thought I'd smoke a cigar, and thought this was a good opportunity to try that Lagavulin 9 I mentioned at the end of my last video. So here it is right here. You want to have something that's smoky, peaty, if you will. Something we'll talk about in other videos, of course, when you're having a cigar. Because pairing a very soft, easy, floral sherry bomb, aka sherry bombs, type of scotch or whiskey with a cigar isn't going to work. It's not going to hold its own. So anyway, first we're going to light this bad boy up. Excuse me 1 second here. A little windy. All right. It's just this literally is called a nub, N-U-B. Not a big cigar smoker. Like to when I do have a cigar, I like to have just a small, simple, easy one here. Okay. Now that we got that going, let's open up the Lagavulin. Like I said, the Lagavulin 9. House Lannister, Game of Thrones. I'm not usually into these sort of special type bottles, if you will, with advertising and so forth. Bought this because it was on major sale. This bottle went for $65. This is one of my favorite distilleries. They make a really good product. And I gotta imagine it tastes pretty good, and it was only $25. So they're big time on sale. I mentioned it before. They're on sale at Mission Liquor. They bought like 5,000 cases of the stuff. There's 6 bottles per case for $25. Let's get this bad boy. Oh. I was going to talk about this at another time as well, but for those of you just joining in for the quick live video, these cups, these glasses are awesome. After the fire we had at the house and everything was sort of packed away or lost, had to have some quick replacement glasses. Got these at the dollar store. These are totally awesome. They got a great weight to them. They still sell them at the dollar store. Oh, it looks like there we are. Kind of some weird mirror stuff going on there. Good weight to them. I think they actually sell them as candle holders. They sell the candles for $1 and these for $1. I got a ton of these. Anyway, give that bad boy a little look-see there. Looks pretty good, right? It's a nice coloring, yeah. Definitely has the Lagavulin smoke smell to it. Hello, Marianne. I can bring you on the camera. Do you want to come on? I didn't know I could do that. It says bring them on camera. Wow. That is a strong taste. again, I'm usually drinking the 16 out of Costco, and the 9 is a stronger but very similar version of the 16. I would taste this blind and guess it being Lagavulin, and I get really lucky. Marianne, we need to bring you on. It says you're watching. I don't want to just bring you on without your permission, though. I probably couldn't do it without your permission anyway. So one of the good things you want to do also when you're just trying out a whiskey like that, you want to give it a taste beforehand before you do anything. Remember, we're not about ice cubes. We're not doing snow cones. We talked about that. This is an anti-snow cone channel. If you want to put ice in your drink, that's okay in a cocktail, in a mixed drink. But when we're trying a nice single malt, you got to respect it. So what we'll do is we'll give it a nice taste. And we're just going to give it, like this much water. That's it. A little bit on the pipette. That's it. Swirl it around. It brings out some of those oils. It lets them move around a little bit that have been sort of connected in that bottle for some time. And it does open it up. Yeah, really good. So it does go well with the cigar, and I think I'm going to enjoy the scotch, the cigar, and just share this little moment and the review again for those of you coming in late. This was the Game of Thrones, baby, House Lannister, 9-year. Okay, they normally sell an 8-year. They did this one for 9. It is a 46 alcohol by volume. So we know Marianne's gonna like that, right? Yeah, you know Marianne. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, 46% is great. Remember, I think I mentioned in an earlier video that one of the rules for Scotch, maybe I have not yet, and this is an unofficial video, so it won't count. You need to have 40% alcohol by volume. And that is a lot of alcohol, quite frankly. You drink a beer and that's 40% alcohol, all you need is 1. So for like a week. 46% is nothing to sniff at. They are not trying to water it down, and they want you to get a good sense of what this whiskey's about, and it's a good one. So anyway, before I leave you, I'll let you know that we have a special guest joining us on Whiskey with Stu. Later in the week, it might be a Friday or Saturday post, because we still got to get together. We're bringing on a scientist, and we are going to discuss the fermentation process. That's right. And no, it's not Dr. Liz. Dr. Liz probably does not condone any of these activities, or my recent rise to fame in the Facebook sphere. Yeah, I'm kind of a celebrity now, kind of a big deal. Have a safe rest of the week, guys. Bye-bye. Hey there, Stuart Levitt here with Whiskey with Stu. How the hell are you? I know it's been a while. So why am I coming to you in this car? Because at, what time is it, 11:20? Because I'm waiting for my wife, who is at an alterations place indoors, and I don't want to go in there. I'm just sitting here. And I was going through my emails, and I saw from the other day there was this this email that came in. Oh, my mother's watching. Hello. There was this email that came in from Mission Liquor, and they were having a special. And it was from this 21-year-old whiskey known as Hector Macbeth, which isn't a real distillery, by the way. So I looked into that a little bit. And so what this is, if you do a little quick research, it appears that Hector Macbeth, if you will, is actually Glenfiddich. And it is a single malt 21-year. And they have it for sale. Well, there's a combination. That bottle and a Coe Isla 9, which is probably fantastic because Coe Isla is another great one. And 9 years can be a little sharper. And a lot of us in single malt land don't drink the 9 years so much. But there's some really good tastes in there. So anyway, they're selling that bottle and the Hector Macbeth, which again is Glenfiddich 21, which normally sells by itself for about $200 or more.
for $150. And I just have too much whiskey. I can't even buy any more right now. So anyway, so I looked into it, and the Hector Macbeth is they do this thing called teaspooning, which I didn't know what that was. I had to look that up. Is where they take like the idea is they take a very small amount, like a teaspoon. I don't know if it's probably more than a teaspoon, but anyway, they take a very small amount of single malt from another distiller. And so when you mix single malts between two different distilleries, it is no longer a single malt. It is called a blended. And everybody wants to have a single malt, right? That's kind of where all the fun is. So, but the truth is, if you really know what a single malt is it's not really a single malt either. It's not from a single batch. It can be from batches from previous years, older batches, younger batches. Well, the age of the 21 can't be, there can be nothing younger than 21. So there could be 24-year-old Scotch in there or what have you. It could be from the same season, different batches. So a single malt isn't truly from the same malt itself. So, all right. So they teaspoon it. They put a small amount in from another distillery, and it's now a blended. And it doesn't compete with their normal brand. And why are they doing this? Because they have too much whiskey, and they don't want to flood the market. So they put in another name. They get it, and they basically are selling it wholesale. Which is the other distillery that they're blending it with? I don't know. It's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably right next door. They own Balvenie, or it's a common ownership. I've been to Glenfiddich. Balvenie I was able to get in there, which is one of my favorites. It's right next door. So my guess is probably just a little bit of that. But again, you should be thinking about this as a Glenfiddich 21 year. If you can get that for $225, that's kind of normal. Here again, you're getting 2 bottles, $150, and I think it's worthy of getting it. So I sent an email out to a few friends the other day. One said he was going out and going to go get it, so I'll probably come to his house and take a look at it. And look, Whiskey with Stu live broadcast.
Hey.
Special guest. What were we doing?
You were hanging out when I went to alterations.
See? No lies. So anyway, the only person watching is your mother-in-law.
Hi, Mom.
So if anybody goes out and gets it, let me know. I'll come by and have a dram and have a taste. But again, Mission Liquor, that they're having it. I'm not endorsing it. I just think it's a good thing. It's interesting. I would get it if I had room. And you just learned what teaspooning is. No.
Sorry.
Goodbye. All right, hey, welcome to Whiskey with Stu. I talked to you guys a few weeks ago about the event here at Topanga Ranch Park, whiskey event, and I've been to all of them in the past. You can see we've got some food trucks here, okay, and we've got entertainment coming, which is nice. It kind of sucks ass, to be fair. This used to be a single malt event, single malt place. They've got a couple or a few, and they're kind of the lower end guys. Well, not necessarily lower end guys, but of the guys that are here, they're the lower end brands. It's mostly American whiskey with an E, and there isn't even a whole lot of that. And with respect to that, this year for the first time, they gave us these blue coupons. They gave us 5, right? Which would sound like a lot of coupons, but I've never, ever, did I say ever? Been to a whiskey tasting or any other type of tasting where they give you a coupon on limit. So I don't know what's going on. The pours are like this big, and you don't want them to be very large to begin with anyway, because you drink a lot of whiskey, you taste it out. But there's a lot of, I've come up with this term in the last few months, agents of control here. Now that said, they give some food tickets. That's been good. It's nice that they do some music. I'm here with some friends. Back there, kind of waving. Can't quite see. So it is a nice evening, don't get me wrong. But it's off and wrong, and I would not come back if they kept this format again. Oh, one last thing. They also had cigars last time. Each year they've had cigars. They've had an area where people can go smoke cigars. They have banned smoking cigars. Look at this area right over here. This is where you used to go and smoke cigars. It wouldn't be part of that area at all, but no. So, kind of sucks ass. I'm still gonna have a great time though, don't get me wrong, but it isn't what I would want it to be, what it should be, and it's a loser event.
Rick.
Stuart.
Dude, nice to meet you.
All right, so I just want to introduce you to Rick. Rick is a professional. He's at the single malt table. I may have mentioned there weren't a whole lot of single malts here, and we like single malts. So Rick has got the Glen Roast, which I've discussed on my channel before. But Highland Park is a really good, well-known whiskey. I've tasted it, I've had it. I don't know a lot about it. Rick, what do you suggest we try today? A whiskey with stew.
Depends on where you want to go. But let's start with the best of the best. Highland Park 18.
The best of the best. Highland Park 18. All right.
This has been voted not just Scotch of the Year, but Spirit of the Year multiple times over, multiple
Spirit
different
of the Year.
multiple different publications.
Rick, wait, we got a special guest. It's our old friend, Ray Fulcher, another friend of Whiskey with Stew.
What's up,
Rick. All right. So we're doing a live one.
Live, oh Hollywood. What are we sampling?
So
here?
that is good. There's there's clearly peat in it, but I would call it more smoky than peat.
Dark chocolate, maybe a little cinnamon.
It expands. I almost feel like there's like an apricot thing going on a little bit in there. A lot going on, right? This is not a harsh whiskey.
It's overpowering.
It's not overpowering exactly. A lot of whiskeys can be overpowering.
Flows in harmony. It's beautiful.
What are we on alcohol by volume? ABV.
This couldn't be 86.
86. Okay, so that's 43% alcohol by volume. And what does this bottle go for?
Oh,
Roughly.
It depends on where you are. Maybe anywhere from 150 to 200.
Yeah. So, Ray, I'm giving it the Whiskey with Stew seal of approval, but let's see what you think.
Real live tasting here.
Shot,
Here we
We're
go.
live. We're live, baby.
So good to see you guys today. Thank you very much.
A lot
Can't
going on here.
You can't see his legs, but they're kind of like doing that.
Yeah, I gave it the stanky leg. It's a lot going on here.
So we're gonna end the live version
Very
for the moment,
smooth. Very smooth.
and we're gonna continue with one or two others. But things are improving here at the whiskey event. Of course, there's only 3 Scotch whiskeys, but they're